Meanwhile, a popular permit program allowing anglers and campers to cross freely from Minnesota into Canada will be closing in September, and it's set to be replaced by a new system. Northern News Now Sophia Lauber learned more about the Remote Area Border Crossing, or RABC, permit program today, hearing from businesses on the border that have been left in limbo for months.
I'm here just about 4 miles south of the Minnesota-Canada border. Business owners here who have relied on the RABC permit program for years tell me they're relieved to finally have an update on the future of the program. Situated on the border between two prime canoe parks, those with Lateral Outfitters say Canada is an important draw to many of their guests.
Accessing those areas, though, is very important for us as well as the customers that really enjoy those special areas.
Down the road at Williams & Hall Outfitters, employees say guests visiting Canada using the RABC program previously made up 30 to 40% of their customers.
And we have the ability to shuttle people by boat through Moose, Newfound, and Sucker Lake up to Prairie Portage.
Since the program paused for review in 2024, that's plummeted to about 5% this last year.
There was nothing we could say or do, or just waiting for word.
Outfitters were relieved last week to receive notice that the program will soon be replaced by a telephone reporting system. The Canada Border Services Agency, or CBSA, says it's a method used elsewhere in the country.
This has always been a privilege, in my view, that we were ever allowed to access a Canadian provincial park at a remote location and have it done so easily.
However, after months of silence,
Yeah, it's been a little frustrating for everybody that's really involved in it.
many questions still remain for businesses eager to return to their normal.
The logistics of it and so forth, how that's going to be go forward, is interesting to us.
In the coming months, CBSA will consult with local businesses as well as Indigenous communities and law enforcement to decide on the location of those new telephone reporting sites. In Ely, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.
While new applications still aren't being processed, active RABC permits have been extended until the program closes on September 14th. We did reach out to the CBSA to clarify when additional telephone sites will be added, but beyond prior to September 14th, they didn't give us a timeline.